Hi boys and girls, today we're going to go on a scavenger hunt for arrays around the space that we're in. My name is Ms. Price and I'm a third grade teacher at Rosewood Elementary School. So today we are going to go on a scavenger hunt to look for arrays around your room, your house, your kitchen. You are welcome to go outside. Just make sure you have somebody with you and somebody knows where you're going. So we are going to look for arrays, and remember that arrays are when objects are organized in rows and columns. So when we walk around, we are looking for multiple objects that create a rectangle or a square and are evenly grouped. Let's go find our first array. All right, so our first array we have found is on this bookshelf. So you can see that we have a grid in the bookshelf, and you can count that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and then we have 1, 2, 3 sets of shelves. So our first array we're going to look at is 5 rows by 3. So let's talk about our first array that we saw at the bookshelf. So on our bookshelf we saw that we had 5 shelves and we had 3 bookshelves. So we are going to draw a picture to help us remember what it looked like. So this is our picture of our bookshelf. So we see our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and then we see our 1, 2, 3 in each row. So we are going to use repeated addition to help us solve this problem. So we are going to say we have 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. So we are going to add all of that together. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. All right, so we can see that we have 15 spaces on our 3 bookshelves. So we could count each square, but our repeated addition is going to help us do it a little bit faster. And for those of you that are already familiar with multiplication, you are already probably thinking, well, there's a much simpler way than trying to add all of them up. And you might say that there are 5 rows of 3, and then we're still doing the same thing, which still gives us 15 spaces on our bookshelf. Let's go find another array. All right, so our next array is going to be the papers on this bulletin board. So we are going to notice that we have 2 rows and then we have 2 in each row. So we're going to take that back when we go to solve our array for 2 rows and 2 columns. All right, so let's now talk about the second array that we found. So on the bulletin board, we had 2 pieces of paper. So we're going to draw our picture of the bulletin board. And then we had 2 rows of 2 pieces of paper. So here is our picture to help us. So again, we are going to count. We had 2 and we had 2. So we can do repeated addition here of 2 plus 2 equals 4 pieces of paper. All right, and again, just like last time, those of you that are more familiar with multiplication, we can also see it as 2 rows of 2 equals 4. So we can very easily solve that we have 4 pieces of paper on our bulletin board. Let's go find our last array. All right, so for our last array, we are going to use these 3 tables right here. And we are going to realize that we have 6 chairs. So we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're not set up like an array, but they're still in equal groups. So we are going to use 3 tables with 6 chairs in each group to help create our own array, and then use repeated addition and multiplication to figure out how many chairs are at the 3 tables. All right, so this one was a little bit different than the other ones that we found. So this time we found 3 tables that had 6 chairs at each table. I'm just going to draw a little square to represent the chairs. All right, so these weren't arranged in an array, but they were arranged in equal groups, so we can take that information and we can create our own array. So we are going to take 3 rows, because we had 3 tables, and then we had 6 at each table, so we are going to split it into 6 for each row. And then we are very easily going to be able to see that we have 6, 6, and 6, which is also the same over here as 6, 6, and 6. So we can still use our repeated addition to help us solve. So 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 6 more is 18. And again, for those of you that are comfortable with multiplication, you can see that this is 3 groups of 6, which equals 18. Or you can see that it is 3 rows of 6, which also equals 18. As you can see, we have arrays and equal groups all around us, and it is very easy to use repeated addition and relate to multiplication to solve in a quicker way than having to count each individual object.